I was asked by one of my TikTok followers to comment on the Oakland A's releasing Elvis Andrus, Jed Lowry, and Stephen Piscotty. So I want to expand upon my thoughts on the Oakland A's and releasing these three veterans. So let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And when we look at the Oakland A's right now, we know that they're a rebuilding team. They would just recently call up their top prospect, Shane Langeliers, someone that they acquired in the Matt Olson deal with the Atlanta Braves. But in doing so, they would release Stephen Piscotty. A week before that, they would release Jed Lowry, and most recently, as of yesterday, released Elvis Andrus. Now, I think the circumstances around these three releases are very, very different. I think that when you look at the Elvis Andrus release, we'll start with that as the most recent. He was very unhappy about his playing time. At the time of this recording, it's being reported that he is in negotiations and conversations with that of the Chicago White Sox, who are dealing with their own shortstop issues with Tim Anderson on the IL. When you look at what Oakland is looking to do right now, they're looking to build their next core of superstar players, probably to trade away. But when you look at what this move by releasing Elvis Andrus does, it eliminates a potential clubhouse problem for young players. And a young superstar like Shane Langeliers, who's going to have a lot of eyes on him because of being the top prospect that was traded in the Matt Olson deal. He would make a big-time splash with a home run in last night's game against the Rangers, which is a very good start for this young superstar. When you look at what it means by releasing Stephen Piscotty and Jed Lowry, these are two veteran players who could have been held on to throughout the course of the rest of this season and then used as some sort of trade leverage to get back even a low-level prospect this offseason. I think that when you look at Jed Lowry and his ability to play multiple positions in the infield and having been such a staple in Oakland for the last several years, this is a more questionable move to me than that of Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty has had his ups and downs, and this is going to be a player that, in my opinion, could sign on with a different club and find himself succeeding in a different circumstance, in a different situation. I think that Oakland, being so close to home with all the issues that he had with his mother, were going to be a very tough place to play on a nightly basis. You move him away into a more hitter-friendly ballpark, and I think Piscotty gets back to being one of the better players that we thought he was going to be with the St. Louis Cardinals. When it comes to Jed Lowry, however, this veteran player to me is going to find himself in a much more difficult situation to find a team to play for. I think that there may be a team that's not competing right now that could take a chance on Lowry, given his veteran leadership and, again, his switch hitting ability and ability to play multiple positions in the infield. But when you look at what Oakland is doing, they're starting to lay the foundation and the groundwork for their next set of superstars. We know that Oakland has gone through several of these rebuilds where they will absolutely demolish everything that they have in the organization. Most recently this season, trading away Frankie Montas, Matt Chapman, Matt Olson amongst the higher echelon of their players. But you also have to look at the fact that the next superstar in the making in terms of their pitching rotation, Paul Blackburn, is now out for the season as well. Billy Beane has been in charge of this ball club since 1997 and has done a very good job, in my opinion, of collecting talented players. However, as we know, every single time this team starts to build up to a contending and a championship caliber team, they trade away those key players. For Oakland, I think a new ballpark is going to be absolutely mandatory for them to really compete on a year in and year out basis. But the philosophy from the front office, more so from the ownership group, will have to change with a new ballpark. I think that for Oakland, there's going to be a lot of players coming up in their ranks that are going to be very interesting to watch as they go through this next phase. Obviously, Shane Langeliers will be the player that gets the most attention and the most notoriety, but there's going to be some other players in that organization that absolutely could help. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. Oakland A's fans, let me know how you're feeling right now with your team, with your front office, and with your chances over the next coming couple of seasons with Shane Langoliers as the centerpiece, the cornerstone of your franchise. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this down in the comment section below, or find me over on Twitter at JLaracuente19 to keep the conversation rolling. As always, keep it locked into the entire JLMG family with Sibs, the Granite Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast by hitting that red subscribe button. For sticking around to this point, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com. Use the promo code BANTER to save 5% off your order. Keep it locked in all season long as I continue to bring you the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.